Okay, let's look at how to factorize quadratic expressions using the guide number and grouping technique. Okay, so let's look at this first problem here. So let's factorize 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. So the first thing to do is multiply the 2 in this first term by the 2 in the second term. 2 2's are 4. Then find the factor pairs of 4. So we have 1 and 4, 2 and 2, and that's as many as we have. This third step is to look at the sign of the third term. It's positive. That means the signs in our answers, in our two factors, will be the same sign. But what will that same sign be? We need to look at the sign of the second term, and it's plus. So our answer will have two pluses in it. So the next step we need to do is to now rewrite this plus 5x. We'll rewrite the whole term, but instead of writing plus 5x, we're going to make use of this plus 1 plus 4, because plus 1 plus 4 will give us plus 5. And this is the factor pair we're going to go with. And we're going to recreate plus 5x here. We're going to rewrite it using these rather than the plus 2, because that only gives us 4. That's not 5, so that doesn't work. So we'll rewrite 2x squared plus 1x plus 4x plus 2. And then we'll just simply group our terms. We'll group these and these. And then we'll look for the highest common factor, which is x. And in this one here, it's 2. So divide both terms inside by 2 using the grouping technique. And so that leads us to see that we have 2x plus 1 as our standout factor and x plus 2. So the factors of this expression up here are 2x plus 1 and x plus 2. And if you were to multiply them out, you'd get 2x squared plus 4x plus 1x plus 2. And that's equal to 2x squared plus 5x plus 2, which is what we were looking for. Okay, let's look at to factorize 3x squared minus 17x plus 10. So 3 by 10 is 30. Factor pairs 1 is 30, goes 30 times, 2 goes in 15 times, 3 goes in 10 times, 5 goes in 6 times. All the while we're looking at these factor pairs, and in the background we're trying to see, can we make 17 with any of these? And we can see that 2 and 15 might give us 17, but we must then look at the sign, and we see that it's positive. That means when we juggle these numbers in the factor pair to make 17, we're going to have to use the same signs for each number, and in this case, what is the sign? The sign is negative. So we're going to end up with minus 2 minus 15 equals minus 17. And that's perfect, that's what we want, okay? So we'll rewrite 3x squared minus 17x plus 10 as 3x squared minus 2x minus 15x plus 10. And then we'll just group them together, okay? So we've 3x squared minus 2x and minus 15x plus 10. The common factor here is x, and the common factor, and our sign pops out, remember, and the common number is 5. This will always be 1x or 3x or something by x, and this will always be just a number. So the common factor here is minus 5, so we write minus 15x over minus 5 plus 10 over minus 5. And so therefore x will cancel there and so on, and we'll get 3x minus 2 for this term here. And minus 5 into minus 15, minus divided by minus is plus, 5 and 15 goes 3x, and here plus 10 divided by minus 5 is minus, goes twice. So our standout factor is 3x minus 2, and the other factor is x minus 5. Third example, 5x squared plus 27x minus 18. 5 by 18 is 90. The factor pairs, and remember we're kind of looking to see if we can make 27 here. 1, 90, 2 and 45, 3 and 30. So we might be able to make 27 out of 3 and 30. Let's look at the sign. This time it's a negative. If it's negative, the sign of the third term, that means the sign in our answers will be different. There'll be one of each. So let's use a minus and a plus with 3 and 30 and see what happens. So we're looking for plus 27x. So if we just say minus 30 plus 3 gives us minus 27. That's no good. If we just use switch the signs and say, what about plus 30 minus 3? That is 27. That's perfect. Okay, so we'll use that. We'll rewrite so we'll rewrite 25x squared. Instead of plus 27x, we'll say plus 30x minus 3x minus 18. So we'll take our 5x, so we'll group our first two terms and our second two terms. So we'll have 5x squared plus 30x and the remaining two terms. We'll take our common 5x out here and our common minus 3 out there. We'll end up with x plus 6 as the standout term and 5x minus 3 as the other term. And finally, let's look at this. This didn't first copy too well, so I've done it here. So we've let's solve 36x squared minus 7x minus 4. So anyway, 36 by 4 is 144. These are all the factor pairs here. Okay, and I'm looking to make 7 out of these. And I can see that 9 and 16 might give me 7. So I'll refer to the sign here. It's negative, so I'm going to have different signs. I'm going to have 1 plus and 1 minus. Okay, so let's try 9 and 16. What about plus 9 minus 16 minus 7? Perfect. That's the one to do. So we rewrite 36x squared minus 7x minus 4 as 36x squared plus 9x minus 16x minus 4. Group the first two and group the second two. Take out your common factors 9x, and that all ends up as 4x plus 1 if you were to divide both those by 9x. Sign pops out, and so does the number 4, because that's common to both, and 4 into minus 4 into minus 16x is 4x, minus 4 into minus 4 is 1. So our standout term is 4x plus 1, it's that one, and the remaining term is 9x minus 4.